Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Thunderbird Radio, the best place to get announcements for all things UMA. If you have any pressing announcements, then you can send them to announcements at utahmilitaryacademy.org. Again, that is announcements at utahmilitaryacademy.org. Now that we have the customary introductions over, let's begin with some pleasantries. We have been going strong this school year, and it's nearly the end of the first term. I, for one, am scrambling to get my grades up, as I know many of the other people are. I don't really want a C plus on my permanent record, just to say so for myself. Now, I'm going to provide a weekly weather report for right now. That way you can plan your outerwear for your separate uniforms. I will only be doing this until we get into the winter season, because then you should know what outerwear you should be wearing. On Monday, the temperature range is 54 to 76 degrees. Tuesday, it's 48 to 77 degrees. Wednesday, it is 58 to 80 degrees. Thursday, it's 52 to 79 degrees, and Friday, it's 55 to 84 degrees. I also suppose that I should mention the weather for Saturday as well, since homecoming is indeed on Saturday. So for Saturday, the weather range is from 57 to 81 degrees. Pretty nice weather, it's not getting too cold yet. I'm going to keep up with the different sections for now, just so we can keep it organized. Now for the announcement cornerstones, like every good beginning to the announcements, we have Duty Flight. This week, Duty Flight is going to be Golf Flight. We have officially made it to the second half of the flights. Way to go. Going there eventually. I'll repeat myself for those of you in Golf Flight. If you go off campus and are unable to make it back in time, please don't go off campus. I don't know the policy right now on coming back late so many times. But in previous years, it has been you'll have to redo Duty Flight next week. So, I don't know the policy. Just be on the safe side and make sure you are back on time or don't go off campus at all. Okay, now everybody needs help with this on occasion, but we have the uniform tip of the week. It revolves around the windbreaker, which not many people know all the policies and rules around it. Anyone who isn't in the 7th grade is unable to wear the windbreaker in their blues uniform. Potato, potato. Those wanting to wear a jacket must either wear the lightweight or their service coat. I know that most people are going to end up wearing their lightweight. 7th graders, your lightweight jackets, and really any outerwear that anybody wears really, must be halfway zipped up at all times. If you have it unzipped, then you will be asked to correct it. That is coming from staff and myself, as I am staff. Thank you. Now, every year this is a problem, and it's around the lost and found. We've discussed this in previous weeks already. There are many items there currently. Some of those items include lunch bags, water bottles, and shoes. How someone loses their lunch bag is well beyond me, but I digress. If you're missing something, please check the lost and found. Maybe you'll find the item you lost. If you haven't lost an item, check the lost and found. Maybe you'll discover that you actually did lose something. Now, at the end of the week, all items will be donated from the lost and found, or they'll be thrown away. So check before the end of the week, preferably. Off to the senior section with us. If you haven't checked it out already, check out the counselor website on the UMA webpage. There are many scholarship opportunities that you can look at. And something I need to work on is ROTC scholarships and academy nominations. Those that haven't started, it might be too late for academy nominations, so unfortunate. For ROTC scholarships, get working on those immediately. If you need any help, talk to Mrs. Horning or Major Workman. Now, on to credit recovery. This is a big one. Start working on them immediately. The packets can be purchased in the office for $35. I don't know when they have to be in by, so you'll have to find that information out yourself. Now, we can't really do a uniform section for this week, unfortunately. There's really only one item. It's more about logistics, actually. So, logistics is only open on Monday through Wednesday at 07:30 to 08:15. It's also open after school from 15:15 to 1600. For dry cleaning, it's only open in the mornings on Thursday. A message, from what I can tell from logistics, is that they are not open on Friday. Don't come in the morning to expect to get your uniform refit, specifically at 08:10. That is way too before school. That is way too late to get your uniform refit. There's not enough time before school. Don't go there on the way to formation either. You should have gotten your uniform sorted out before school or even before you came to school. Just keep that in mind. I suppose this can also go along with the uniforms. The locker room. Don't store stuff in the locker room if you can. Store it in your locker. Things left in the locker room that end up in the lost and found is completely on you. It is not on anyone else. Now for the miscellaneous announcements, the ones that I have the most fun with because you can't tell what they're going to be. They are now henceforth called the wildcard announcements. For behold, the Teen Center is now open for before school and after school. Before school, it's open during 0630 to 0800. After school, it is open from 1515 to 1730. Before school, cadets must be in the Teen Center until 0730. We also have a curriculum in action trip for an F-15 tour. Funnily enough, the acronym for curriculum in action is CIA. The CIA trip is on Friday, the 1st of November. The paper says it's in 2024. I hope it's in 2024. Otherwise, people are going to be waiting a long, long time. Those who sign up will be leaving UMA at 0800, and they will return around 12:30. The uniform for the trip is going to be the Blues uniform. Anyone who is in the grade levels 8 through 12 are allowed to sign up for the trip. There is no cost, and it's going to be limited to 40 cadets, so sign up before all the sports are gone. One thing is that if you are 16 or older, you will need to have a state-issued or military-dependent ID card. Those interested should fill out the form in the description, which should be labeled under CIA F-35 trip. Another opportunity we have is the West Point admissions meeting. It will take place Tuesday at 1800, October 15th. Weird order, but that's what was on the announcement paper. It will be at the Mill Creek Community Library, so rather close to me, actually. There, West Point is going to be hosting an admissions meeting. It is open to the public, so everyone, even outside of our school. If you are interested in learning about the West Point Service Academy, you can register using the link below. It will be labeled West Point Service Academy. Admissions meeting. Lastly, in the wildcard section, is the Cadet Newsletter. The Cadet website is now available to read articles on. Journalism has been working hard to get them published, so it'd be appreciated if you read them. You can find the website at umathunderbirds.com. Again, that is umathunderbirds.com. You can also download the Student News Source app and type in Utah Military Academy to find the articles. You'll also be able to find the link in the description to the website. Not the app, though. I don't know how to work that one. This week is going to be special, as we have some spirit things going on. First is Spirit Week. During this week, there's going to be many activities. I won't discuss the ones that have already happened, which were flight competitions. It looked like a minefield where we were issuing commands. That's all I'm going to say on that. On Wednesday, there's a ring toss at lunch. On Thursday, the art contest is due, and there's a pep rally from 13:45 to 15:15. There's also soccer, volleyball, and football games going on. For our homecoming game, I'm guessing it's football. On Friday, there's grade colors, which I shall say now. Quick FYI before this, actually. UMA Spirit Wear does not count towards the colors, which they will be counting how many people are wearing colors. 7th grade is going to be wearing white. 8th grade is going to be wearing purple. 9th grade is going to be wearing blue. 10th grade is going to be wearing red. Where did I put 11th grade? Give me a second to look at this paper. 11th grade... Hold on. Did I get my action order wrong? Yes, okay, I'll just read it from the paper. 7th grade, white. 8th grade, purple. 9th grade, blue. 10th grade, green. 11th grade, red. 12th grade, black. Really need to script that better. Lastly, this week is going to be homecoming. If you want any more information on that, I already did a whole announcement spotlight on that. You can find that episode on the homepage of this YouTube channel under Announcement Spotlight. It'll also be at the title card, the end screen card for this episode. Winter sports are coming up. The fall season is ending, and the winter season now follows. For the winter season, there is basketball, wrestling, bowling, marksmanship, probably, archery, technically in the spring, drill, and Cyber Patriots. You must be academically eligible from the first term. Keep in mind that when you register for normal sports, you have to register at registermyathlete.com. Again, that is registermyathlete.com. You also need to have a physical. It can't be any older than a year. Trust me, I can't go to my sports because I can't get a new physical. Get on signing up for them now so you don't miss up the sign-up period and can actually start practicing. This brought up another thing, and the end of the general announcements. It's the end of the term, so get on top of things. As mentioned, grades count towards winter sports eligibility. Take advantage of the team times and study halls to get your grades up, please. Now, sports for this week are as follows. Baseball has a game on Friday at Merritt. Girls soccer has a home game on Tuesday, so that would have been today, against St. Joseph. Thursday, they have an away game at Waterford. Girls high school volleyball has a home game on Tuesday against Merritt, and Thursday they have a home game against Vanguard. Girls junior high volleyball has an away game on Monday at Highmark. Wednesday, a home game against Highland, and Friday they have an away game at Mound Fort. Cross Country High School has an away game at St. Joseph, and the most anticipated of them all, from what I can tell, is football. Football has a home game against Camp Williams, our nemesis. On to team times. This is getting to be a long episode. On Friday, there's Boy Scouts with Mr. Chapman in room 101, MMA with Coach Foley in the cafeteria, ham radio with Mr. Mamanakis in room 119, chess/power chess in the library, marksmanship with Coach Castle on the range, and archery with Coach Sage on the range. Tuesday, there's Kitty Hawk and academic teams with Lieutenant Colonel Tisher in room 122, Innovation Station with Mr. Curtis in room 201, Learn to Cook with Mrs. Gruneau in the cafeteria, Aeronautics Modeling with Mr. Warner in room 123, Dungeons & Dragons with Mr. Doctor in room 203, Drama Club with Major Curtis in room 101, Chess to be determined, and many, many study halls. Wednesday, there's Archery on the range, MMA in the cafeteria, Avatar Tea Time with Miss Kruger in room 110, Airsoft with Captain Leckman in room 208, Esports with Mr. Storm in room 107, Open Arts with Mrs. Carter in room 122, Emergency Service and Search and Rescue with Mr. Warner in room 123, Japanese Club/Science Study Hall with Mr. Gabriel in room 118, Honor Guard with Miss Sergeant Jimenez on the drill pad, National Honor Society with Mrs. McCutcheon in room 117, Junior National Honor Society with Mrs. Carlisi in room 119, Latinos in Action with Mr. Pickett, they spelled his name wrong again, and lots of study halls. Check out the schedules hanging in the hallways for more information on the study halls. Lastly, on Thursday, there's Cyber Patriots with Mr. Storm in 107, Innovation Station with Mr. Curtis in room 201, German Club with Mr. Atkins in the library, Archery with Coach Sage on the range, Raiders with Captain Leckman in room 208, Honor Guard on the drill pad with Sergeant Jimenez, Cap with Lieutenant Colonel Carlisi in room 207, Aeronautic Modeling with Mr. Warner in room 123, Dungeons & Dragons with Mr. Doctor in room 203, Latinos in Action with Mr. Pickett and Dr. Chaparro in room 105, Garage Band with Mr. Cap in room 124, Military Film Club with Major Curtis in room 101, and again, lots and lots of study halls. That was tiring, but then again, so was school. I feel like there were a lot more announcements than this week, which is not true, considering this was only a 4.5-page script, which is the exact same as every other one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Thunderbird Radio. Make sure to check in next week for more announcements. Until then, remember to have a good